Welcome to your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Anik Technology Services and Mobile Posse. Welcome back from what we hope was a wonderful weekend for you and your family. Focus groups are synonymous with market research, but a posting last week on Qualblog seriously called into question the future of focus groups, specifically single-unit facilities. 2020 Research President Jim Bryson, the creator of Qualblog, is perturbed by Leibowitz Market Research's shutdown of its Charlotte facility after 50 long years. This decision and overall diminishment of focus group activity has Jim seeing some ominous signs in the industry.
With single facility operations really under the gun, do you see this trend accelerating?
I think it will. I think a lot of those single facility operators have long-term leases that they've had to be into, and over the last few years, the facility business hasn't been what it might have been 5-10 years ago. And so I think there are a lot of people out there, we hear this at conferences a lot, I think there are a lot of people out there that are just waiting for those leases to run out before they can figure out what to do with their business. So I think there will be a shakeout.
Typically a lease is how long?
Typically 10 years or more even, because there's a lot of build out has to be done. So if you're in the middle of a 10-year lease, you're pretty stuck for 10 years.
And so you're saying these people have to weigh the cost of continuing to operate maybe at a small loss as opposed to closing up and just having to pay the piper and pay off those leases?
Well, that's true, because you do have to pay off the leases, because you personally guarantee those leases as well. So if you're the owner and you're stuck on a lease and you're paying thousands of dollars out every month, but you may not be losing quite that much, you're kind of in a between a rock and a hard place. And I think there are a lot of people in our industry that are there and are really trying to figure out how to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Are there any potential winners if this trend continues?
Well, I think the larger firms are going to be bigger winners, because they can go to end buyers, research buyers, and they can offer them a whole network of services or a whole network of facilities around the country and even around the world now, because it's even becoming a global business to some degree. Mm-hmm. And so they're offering that, and that even so they're going to win, and that's going to erode more and more of the market share of what you might call what used to be the mom and pop business of focus group facilities.
Mm-hmm. What does this portend for the number of regional or local locations that we might actually evolve into?
Yeah, they're gonna fall. I mean, the number of locations are going to drop. My guess would be within 10 years, let's say, if not sooner, I think we'll have most of the focus group facilities will be in the top 15 markets in the U.S., maybe 20 at the most. And then you'll have a few that are surviving or doing well because they have figured out a business model in a smaller city. But I don't think you're going to have the proliferation of facilities in the smaller secondary markets that you have today.
Are those secondary markets less important from a pure market research standpoint?
Well, I think that's one of the dangers of this, is because if we get to the point where the research buyers are getting all of their focus group or all of their qualitative data from the large markets, then and not the smaller markets, you're leaving out of talk about just the U.S. You're leaving out a huge part of America in your research. Now, that will be balanced because there are going to be new types of research that are coming along. That's part of what's driving all of this as well. But there is a danger that if you're only doing your focus groups in large markets, you lose a whole different mindset in the U.S. that is a significant part of the consumer buying in the U.S.
What happens to the independent moderator in this kind of a marketplace situation?
They could get caught between the big guys, so to speak, and I don't know if they will. A lot of it depends on how the contracts are written and how those are worked out. But there's no doubt a lot of the big guys want to control the business, and how far along the way they get, I don't know. But I think independent moderators have to be aware of the shifting in the business, and need to be watching out for themselves to some degree.
Jim will share some more of his thoughts tomorrow. Next, CRM is in its second decade, but a posting on business2community.com notes a study from Nucleus Research that says CRM customers are missing out on as much as 80% of potential benefits from their CRM work. The fault, Nucleus says, is management culture, failing to push CRM efforts outside of marketing, sales, and customer support. Nucleus claims that application of these otherwise siloed pieces of information beyond those three main groups could bring significant benefit. And it recommends CRM information dissemination be emphasized in particular with suppliers and partners. Google why businesses are missing out on CRM returns for all the details. And finally, Time Inc. announced the launch of a new advertising service that's going to tap data from its 130 million cumulative readers. Something worth watching. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by ANIC Technology Services and Mobile Posse. We hope you have a great research day, and please join us again tomorrow.